The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Forum, assemble! You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle. Inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, he's our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He is our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
We should update that intro. My walls are... Oh, shoot. Hold on. Okay. R.I.P. Guy Gardner. It was a moment of darkness for our fallen lantern.
Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You miss all the shots you don't take.
Oh my God.
I'm just being motivational.
Oh, okay. There it is. My name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mayor Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking to you all about the first book coming out of the From the Ashes era of X-Men number 1. We're going to be talking to you all about the season finale of The Acolyte. And we're going to be talking to you about the season premiere of Hit Monkey. And of course, whatever else it is that you all want to talk about. And we'll tell you how it is you can let us know what you want to speak on in just a moment. But before we do, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, this show would not exist. So thank you, Scott Rubin. Hope all is well with you, good sir. And with that said, let's just go to our intern and let them do what they do.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
I agree. So yeah, as the intern said, you can go ahead, go to fantasticforum.live. You can become the 5th member of Fantastic Forum if you want to jump into the show with us and discuss what we're talking about, or if you have something else on your mind you want to ask us about, we'll entertain that a little bit too. So feel free. Or if you're a little shyer, you can just want to jump into chat, you can do that as well, whether it's on YouTube or on Twitch. We will take your comments out of chat and bring them into the show as they come up. So feel free. Let us know what's going on with you. Gentlemen, it's good to be here with you all. How's everybody feeling? Y'all doing all right?
Yes, I am.
I'm not.
Okay.
I still have the Anime Expo convention flu.
Man, that was like 2 weeks ago now.
I know it's been trying to get me, but it finally got me like yesterday.
They need to have an AX vaccine.
Nah.
Nah. He said nah.
Nah.
Oz, are you not going to give us your grunt? I asked how you're doing.
I'm all right. My ear's ringing a little bit. But...
Whoa, what? Wait, you're all right. Okay. Well, listen,
his ears ringing, that's why.
Why is your ear ringing?
Is it tinnitus?
His ex is thinking about him right now.
All right, let's move on. Well, and then
so look,
you guys
I think that means...
over here making me go through the
power of Hawk 2 and spit on that name.
I think I watched the wrong episode.
That's still funny. Look, I'm sitting here like I'm assuming that his ex must have given him tinnitus. It must be a combination of the two. Maybe that's what it is. Because I was just like, I don't even want to talk about it. So we'll move on. I know we'll move on. Like, well, I just know my imagination is worse than whatever is actually happening. So I'm just like, we're gonna have to start tweeting.
Did he get the COVID on the boat? Is that what it is?
No,
COVID on the boat.
no, I don't
Can't
get
get-
that nonsense.
Hexzilla's in chat. What's Hexzilla talking about?
Oh, you says, yeah, did Mo come back from being an extra in a remake of Ben-Hur?
Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
coming soon.
There it is.
Yeah, my drinking horn. Yeah. Nah, honestly, it's just hot as fuck. And I wore this to a pirate festival, and I'm like, man, this is a good time to wear this shirt right now. It's nice and it's like linen and it's nice and fresh. Plus, I've been watching House of the Dragon.
Indeed. There it is. Cool. I love it. I love it. Okay, well, look, I know we started a little bit late. Should we just jump into this?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Comic book.
Review.
Comic book.
Like review.
Well, not like that, but like
All right. Gentlemen, I know you must be excited because we get to talk about X-Men. Yay. Listen, we don't talk about X-Men enough on this show.
Well, because we always
I
get
don't
to here
think
and
that's
explain stuff
true.
to you when we do. So it's just,
Right. I'm
And
like,
you never want to talk
Oz.
about Wolverine.
Right. I'm like, Oz, what's the guy with the stabby thing's name? I'm like, who's
Dockin.
that?
So we're
Dawkins.
skipping over like the best X-Men stuff. So
Say what now?
we're skipping over the best X-Men stuff out right now.
Oh, what's the best X-Men stuff out right now that we're skipping?
Blood Hunt.
Mo's right.
Yeah.
The X-Men
Oh.
Blood Hunts are amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we don't
I mean,
talk
they're-
about that.
I'm so mad that how good they are because I got the first two, like the little like alpha thing, like intro thing, and number one, and then I'm like, fuck, what I gotta get? And it's all these books I gotta get. I'm like, fuck, like I have to get all of these.
do they
And then I
explain
did
why
it.
magic is gold?
Say what now?
Do they explain why magic is gold in the cover?
Yeah.
Of
Or is that something she
X-Men-
already did before? I've never seen magic gold.
I'm just gonna say yeah, so you buy it and read it.
now.
I
Now
mean,
wait, are you
no.
talking about on the cover of X-Men #1, or are you talking about Blood Hunt?
Blood Hunt,
Blood Hunt.
the good
Oh.
stuff.
You see, Lawrence, there's this book with X-Men in it called Blood Hunt. One has magic on
It's
the
an
cover.
event.
It's golden. It's got a tiny little sword because normally her sword is like gigantic, like just a huge anime style sword. We'll get you the book.
Like she looks like a like a chick cosplaying as Cloud.
Normally, you mean?
See, this is why we don't talk about X-Men with you because then we gotta explain everything.
So, oh Lord, Derek H says Oz's earache is a sympathetic pain from his boy Trump getting hit. Oh, that's not.
We said we weren't gonna talk about that.
We did.
Look, listen, Oz is okay, or will be okay. Look, we're praying for you too, Oz.
Mo's
Two.
not.
He said Mo's not.
Yeah.
Mo,
Look.
Mo's sending thoughts. No.
Yeah, look,
Not your
I don't
prayers.
I don't pray for anybody. Like
He's sending
How did we not pray? He's gonna cancel out Larry's prayers.
yeah.
Mo.
I absorb
Mo-
your
Mo.
faith.
Oh, Job's gone. Dang, he
Yeah.
lost. No, there it is. So, X-Men #1 is officially the first book launching the From the Ashes era of X-Men, which is the era that follows the Krakoa era, and it has Cyclops and Beast forming a new team of X-Men that consists of Magic, Juggernaut, Oya, Kid Omega.
You know that's not her
Magneto.
name anymore.
Yeah, Larry.
You're right. Temper.
Yeah,
I don't like
she
that
has
name.
her old name, but after the last event, she's changed her name, and yeah, I hate having to explain everything to Lauren.
They haven't given us an explanation on why she decided to change her name out.
We don't have time. We gotta talk about this crappy book.
Well, technically, if you read, what is it, Sabretooth War, that gives you a little insight.
I mean, a little bit, but
Little insight, like you know,
she went through a lot.
She went through a lot, and that's
yeah.
And it's showing on how she expresses her powers too. You know, like they're more aggressive now.
I mean, and I'll give you that. Like she's using them more aggressively. You are absolutely right. So
that's
it's
what
like,
expressing powers means.
And I'm literally said I agree with you. I don't know what more you want from me. I agree with you. Look, but Psylocke. I don't think I mentioned Psylocke as one of the members of the team. So I think I got everybody. But if not, we'll cover it. But and it's the X-Men basically fighting for mutants and mutants' interests. So Hexzilla says, agree harder. Listen, that's what I was trying to do, Heck. I'm like, I agree. Please just leave me alone. Please stop hurting me. No. X-Men #1. So X-Men #1 from the ashes. Who wants to give their opinion first? Who wants to talk about how this book has changed their life?
I love the art.
It's Ryan Stegman. I mean, the art is basically other than the colorist, if I'm not mistaken, it's the art team from the Venom run, which a lot of people were big fans of. So yeah, like people like for Marvel right now, this is them bringing their big guns together to.
These are the big guns?
Hey, listen, like I said, for Marvel right now, this is them bringing their big guns together to make sure, Jed McKay is basically writing like half
everything
of the Marvel books right now. He's like out since Hickman decided he wanted to go off and just like kind of play in the Ultimate Universe. Jed McKay is the guy that's been like the go-to guy for a lot of Marvel stuff. He's the current Avengers writer. Like
he's the Mary Jane and Black Cat writer.
There you go. But he has been doing a really amazing job with Moon Knight, which I think was like one of the things that really kind of put him on the map, I think, for Marvel. But
that's
him
the
and
weird
Stegman
thing about him too. Like he's a good writer, but he can still do his stinkers. His stinkers are still like decent books. Like we talked about Dark Web. Like that was bad, but it's in the good parts were good, even the ones that he was bad at. And then he can do all like first of all, just writing all those at the same time, like.
He's writing a lot of books.
Like there's got to be some stinkers. Like he probably just has to fuck some of them up just to like. He's like to make sure like or just so that they're like, okay, he is working hard. He dropped the ball on this. It's probably easy for him as fuck, and he's just like, and it's like. And he's like, I don't want them to give me more.
Is that
books.
how Jed McKay writes?
Yeah. And it's like, because otherwise it's like it's like, hey, you want to tackle the Ultimate Universe too? And he's like, no. You see, I messed up that book. I have a big workload right here.
He's pulling the Scotty. He's like, tell him it'll take like 4 hours, and then you do it in like 3.5. And he's like, oh,
probably
man,
finishes all. It's he's probably like one of the triplets, and all three of them write it like.
It's like the Prestige.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So. But yeah, who wants to talk about X-Men #1 first? Who's feeling? Oh, Jay, you said you liked the art. How'd you feel about the story?
The story wasn't bad. Like it was more character moments than stuff happening.
That's fair.
But yeah, there are good character moments. Like in particular, I did like Beast and Eric kind of, doing their good cop, bad cop with the local sheriff, right? That was pretty cool. And yeah, like it was pretty cool. Like not bad for a first issue.
I like how they did Beast in the art here, in the sense that like he didn't look like, I don't know how to explain it, but like if you're a fan of the X-Men, you're a fan of Beast, like he doesn't look scary to you. Like, he almost looks like a teddy bear a little bit. But he like, for somebody that doesn't know him or fears mutants, like he can be very scary looking, and we lose that in a lot, in the sense that we're just observing as readers,
Right.
And like the way they drew him here, and then talking with the fact that like the police chief, it's a little daunting for her to see him like that close,
right?
With the way he looks, like the way they drew him, and then expressing that, like they did a really good job in the artwork, because he still looks. I can still see the friendly Beast that I like, but I can see where people could just think, like, if he doesn't say a word, like this dog is gonna bite me,
That's interesting. No, I feel you. And it's an interesting choice they make here, just because this version of Beast is very much reminiscent, and I don't even know if you can say reminiscent. It's basically like 80s era Beast. Which is, I'm certain, a thematic choice, because the storyline at the end of the Krakoa era, Beast was basically a war criminal. And he, there was a clone of him made that was backed up from like the 80s era Beast, like when he was like on the Avengers with like Wonder Man, you know what I mean? Like that. So it's like, because because that's the version of Beast that is currently in the books, I think that they decided to kind of lean towards that, which, I mean, it's a choice. Like I'm not as huge of a fan of it. Yeah. And I'm like, I would probably be more of a fan of it if it wasn't Ryan Stegman like doing the art. Like I feel like because of the way he does because of his art style, it like overemphasizes some aspects of that design that aren't necessarily, as or aren't my personal favorites. But then again, I think it's just because, that's not the Beast 2 that I kind of like grew up with. Like my Beast is more it's more of the like 90s, like early 90s era Beast, maybe late 80s, because it's not all, it's before Jim Lee, but still, yeah, they were already leaning more towards that style versus the darkness around the eyes. Like that's always been a strange thing to me.
Yeah. And that goes back to like the Avengers like era Beast a little too,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I love that. Like I remember that cover, one of those covers where he's like, they're all just jumping in action and he's right there with the Avengers. I'm like, I love that as a kid. So I guess that's probably why I like this too.
Yeah. Like there's definitely nothing wrong with it. Like it's a cool and interesting design, and I feel like Ryan Stegman like does a good job of leaning into it. Like if that was the mission accomplished. You know what I mean? Like there's no way that you're gonna be like, like see anything other than that. So I can't be mad at it in that regard. Oz, what did you think of this book, man?
I don't like it.
That's fair. What about
the
it?
art
don't you like?
itself is fine, but it's the character, the characters.
Mhm.
I don't like this beast.
Okay.
I don't like the Juggernaut, his outfit.
I can understand that.
Cyclops looks like he's 15.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. I'm not a big fan of that either.
Like, yeah, there's a couple panels where I think it's Beast talking about, you know, his leadership and what he's doing with the team, and then you see him and he looks like a little boy.
Even Magneto, like Magneto's like who forged him into the leader he is because of me. And then the next panel is like him in there, and he looks like like he's a little kid playing
Yeah.
Cyclops. The art looks good for Scott, but yeah, I wish he did look more like '90s Scott for those moments. You know, like just I don't know. He
The art
does look
itself,
young.
like, yeah, if it was a different character, not Cyclops, then it looks good. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's a cool little costume.
Like the art, and this is the thing. Like I think this is like, again, like going back to Stegman's art style. Like I don't know why he looks so young, but he does, and it's something that, you know.
I mean, to be fair, they all look like children.
I mean, I don't think they all look like children. Like Psylocke
Even
doesn't
Wolverine.
look like a child. I don't think Wolverine looks like a child either. Like he doesn't.
He looked like Beast at one point. When
well, look. In fairness, Beast and Logan rocked the same hairstyle. Also.
Yeah, and there was like a weird light hitting where you don't see what his real color is.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, you know, but yeah, I honestly I feel like a lot of this is about Stegman's art style, and that's why it's kind of looking the way it's looking. But I really don't understand why he looks so young, and it's something that people have been saying like since the promo art, like the cover art, or not the cover art, the promo art that had like the 3 main titles and the teams on it. And people were like, why does Cyclops look like that? Like, why does he look so young? And, you know, like he looks like a little boy. And also Kid Omega looks like a little kid as well, which, you know, like he is younger, but especially like in the Krakoa era, like, you know, he definitely grew up some. And it's really interesting to look at how he's being, like, not only how he's being portrayed both as far as visually and even emotionally in this book, because it's like, yeah, he kind of regressed. So yeah, but the things that you spoke on, Oz, are more about the like the art. How do you feel about the story?
Generic. It's a number one. It's introducing the characters. If you're not reading X-Men books, it's a great place to start. But it just felt generic to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would Cyclops isn't very inspiring. And you sideline X-Man, codename Wolverine, for most of the book. You know, there's just not a whole lot there. Magneto sitting around in a suit. Like, I don't know. All your most powerful mutants are just kind of like doing something else, and you're sending children out on the field.
I didn't like Zorn.
You didn't like the Zorn cameo?
I did, in the sense that I always like looking at Zorn, and this kind of gave me that vibe of like new X-Men, like because of him there and the art style, like oh yeah, this kind of feels like new X-Men. But also the retcon, like I didn't keep up with the retcon, so and then I see Magneto and Zorn in the same book, and so
listen, don't feel bad.
I forgot
what up with the retcon.
I forgot about like yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, there was a retcon for that, and I couldn't keep it together in my head when I was reading it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Birdseye says, "Why does Jay look like he's being held at gunpoint, and it's because he is. He wants to be asleep and ready for work, but we don't let him. We want him to be here and talk comics with us.
Jay, blink twice if you're in danger.
No, I'm fine. I just have that one of those faces that always looks like it's under distress.
You got that resting, being held at gunpoint face.
Right.
Like he was just thinking about when he's gonna play Shin Megami Tensei or something.
Oh, that did come out, didn't it?
Yeah,
Or it's right about to.
it might. I think it's right about to.
You know what did come out today is the Switch fitness boxing with Miku.
Oh,
Like, I'm actually gonna get that. It's I know fitness boxing has been Mayor has been talking it up like it's like amazing. So just having one with Miku is gonna be awesome. So
Yeah, and it's like that's Lil Larry. Like that's why we have Lil Larry now, and now we're gonna have Lil J.
Now,
Little
fitness
Jay?
boxing is like what was that game with the Guitar Hero, right? Where you're just like you're throwing the punch, but you're trying to match the scrolling, right? Is that
yeah, there's a timing element to it as well. Yeah.
okay? Because I want, and I played this in an arcade, like in the physical arcade, where you pick up two gloves and you're actually, it's like Punch Out, but you're actually like doing like that's a game I want.
That was
So like
Wii
a
boxing.
first person
Because that game that I played was like 10, 15 years ago.
That was Wii boxing.
Yeah, but then I'd have to buy a Wii.
No, you don't. Well, you do. There's still one around here.
Yeah. So, back to X-Men. Mo, what were your thoughts on this particular story?
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was like what Oz didn't like about it. I didn't feel it as underwhelming. I felt it as like, I mean, like I can start reading a bunch of X-Men books again now. I've been waiting for this moment since they announced Powers of 10 or House of X. Like
so you just like it when they reboot them. Because I do feel like I just read a reboot. Like Power of X
but that shit was like 10 years ago almost. Like it was
that's
like
not that long ago in comic years.
No, but when you think about the
Mankind.
amount of comics that you'd have to read to catch up, that's like 8 years. Yeah.
That's like 12 books.
Not in these fucking X-Men because they were weekly, remember? Like especially that early run, like it's a lot of books. And
it's a fair amount of books.
It's not about buying the books. Fuck that. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about sitting there and reading them. The time it's gonna take. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
So,
I mean, go
but
ahead.
aside from that, like, yeah, I mean, I didn't mind Scott looking young. It did stick out at me a little bit, but again, that's Stegman, and I didn't like some of the stuff he did with the Venom shit either. But that's just Stegman, But it's still good art, and it's like, I think even when he's rushing, he's good still. Like any one of those panels, I would buy as a page. Like, it's I mean, like, I got all the lists of the other X-Men number ones that are coming out, so I'm gonna get those too. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
it's like if I there was a time where I was reading every X book out, and it cost me about $80 a week. Yeah. So
it could be expensive.
So and that was with Civil War happening at the same time and shit. So so I'm down for it again. I know it's not gonna be that much, but yeah.
Yeah, right now they're saying that as far as like the flagship titles, it's going to be 3.
Yeah.
And that's this X-Men book, Uncanny X-Men.
But I'm also going to be reading Blood Hunt too, like till it ends. So,
Blood Hunt's almost over.
Almost, but not done yet.
No.
So that's going to cut into my books too.
Right.
And then we don't know what's going to happen after that. Like we might have a Laura Kinney book ongoing after that that I might need to read too.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Laura Kinney is going to be in NYX. I think, which is the book that I think
that's the other number one that's coming out like next week or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And I think that one is like I think the POV character is going to be Miss Marvel, but it's supposed to have like a cast, like younger mutants doing stuff. So, but yeah, the flagships are supposed to be this X-Men book, Uncanny X-Men, which is almost like the very close to the X-Men 97 team, and then Exceptional X-Men, and that's supposed to be, I think, the school book, and that's like Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost running.
Oh, who's writing that one?
That's a good question. I'm not remembering off the top of my head.
Hold on, let me get my iPad. I think I had it in my iPad.
Say it again.
I know Gail Simone is doing Uncanny.
Right. Yeah. Hold on, I could tell you in a second. I'm looking it up. It is. Oh, jeez.
I really love the last page of the book too. When
of this
going
book.
back to talking about this right here. Oh no, not that page. Not the QR code. A big old junk sentinel.
Oh right, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Like I'm messing around and here it is. Okay, sorry.
I don't have.
It's Eve Ewing.
Oh,
Al Ewing's wife.
Mm-hmm. So, and art is Carmen Carnero. So, so it should be like if you want to keep up with like main X-Men stuff, it should be a bit easier. Than they have like a whole little slate of like, kind of like books that are kind of offshoot X-Men books. Like that's where the X-Force and the X-Factor books are going to be. And then they'll have a few solo titles, which I don't know if they're ongoing or I think that they're miniseries, but I could be wrong. Phoenix
that
came
X-Factor looks really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean all of them look pretty interesting. But we'll see. Like
that's the one with the Farrell in the team, right?
Is Farrell in X-Factor? Is it Farrell or is that Wolfsbane?
She was orange.
Oh, well, that should be Farrell. Like, look, I didn't even realize that it was Farrell in X-Factor. Like, I hope it is Farrell and not just a miscolor. That'd be so sad. But
did you hear about Wolverine 240 Deep Cut #1?
Wolverine Deep Cut #1? No, what's that?
That's gonna be a miniseries that takes place between Wolverine 246 and 256 from the 80s.
Is like Chris Claremont doing that, or what is it?
Yeah, Chris Claremont's doing that. Yeah, because he was doing the Wolverine books then too. So
yeah. It's interesting. I saw a thing where he was kind of saying like he felt like he's been pigeonholed into doing that, like
the book's done in that style.
Yeah, in that style, in that era, where,
Well, he's old as fuck,
I mean, he's still writing, right?
Yeah, but it's not like you saw when he tried to write something new again. Larry, you're the first one that said it. It's like, yeah, he's stuck back there.
Mm-hmm.
When he tried to do like new X-Men again, right?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, he's pigeonholed because that's what he's good at. You want a job or not? Yeah.
Dang.
I can find like 5 Mexicans that'll take his job right now.
Take Chris Claremont's black job.
Yeah, his black job. Like I'm excited about that book, and he's talking about pigeonhole. Fuck you. Give me that book. I want to read that. I love that. Like when Wolverine was fucking with Master Mold and shit.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I want to see a book between that. Yeah.
It's
gonna be Heck Claremont. Heck Claremonte is gonna take his job.
Heck's gonna take Chris Claremont's X-Men job, X-Men writing job. Damn.
Heck Claremonte.
No,
in Spanish, Monte Claro. Hector Monte Claro.
Better.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting because I read X-Men #1, and I will tell you, like reading it the first time, I was really disappointed, and I was just like, I was just like, it just felt very basic, and I was just like,
yeah.
I felt away, and I went away.
You're the people that aren't confused by the Hickman run. For me, this is 100%. Finally, a book for the dummy me.
and I was like, okay, let me go back and read it again. And it was interesting because I went back and I read it again, and I realized something, like, because for the longest time I've definitely felt a way about the Krakoa era ending. Like, this is like, like, and I don't think anybody that like watches, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if I get to talk. I don't really talk about it much on the show just because we haven't really broached the subject, but I really did. I really liked the Krakoa era. And I'm not saying that we had to stay in the Krakoa era because comics have to progress, but what I will say is, in my mind, like, I was just like, it doesn't make sense to me that we had this big thing and this big idea that happened that was like status quo shifting for mutants in the Marvel universe, and then we just pretend like it didn't happen, which I'm like, they can't pretend like it didn't happen, right? And in fairness, they didn't pretend like it didn't happen. At the same time, the way that they ended it and how they basically wrapped everything up, and it's not like a nice little neat bow. It's more like a little shoebox that they put it into and then slid it under the bed, and like, like that happened. right. And so it was like, okay, and so that whole aspect of it I felt a way about, and I can fully acknowledge that, and I was like, okay, let me take another look at this book. And I read it a second time, and I was like, you know what, this isn't as bad as I thought it was the first time I read it, but it's definitely not great, and honestly it might just be good enough, and that is when I realized, like, what I've realized more so is my actual issue with this X-Men relaunch. The idea of it, not this book in particular, but the idea of it is like, Marvel is trying to go back, or editorial, whatever, Marvel mandate, however you all want to say it, is trying to go back to basics with the X-Men. And I don't think as much of the idea of the Krakoa era ending and it going to something else was my problem, as much as it is the idea of taking the X-Men back to basics, where I'm just like, that feels like, I don't understand why that's a better idea than doing something more interesting, especially to follow up the Krakoa era. And I think that that's my problem. And so I was like, okay, like, I realized that looking at this book a second time, and I'm like, okay, that's the issue I'm having. And so when I look at this book, I'm like, okay, some of that and how I feel about this book is me kind of wrestling with that feeling. But some of it is just, the book is basic. It's like X-Men doing very X-Men-y type things from an era gone by. And it was like, man, like, I thought we moved a little bit forward from that, just a little bit. Like, because I know I'm not saying that they had to live on Krakoa. I'm not saying they got to be a nation. I'm not saying they got to be on the world stage or any of that stuff. Like, they don't have to be diplomats or world leaders. But you know, I don't know. It just seems weird that we're like, okay, well, we're gonna stick them in a little factory in Alaska. Just be like, okay, let's go
Well,
and
they're kind of doing that
let's go find a mutant or
Israel-Palestine
two.
shit. Like they're putting them in a place that was a little more barren already because of what happened. So they're putting them there. That's their little nation, and there's people there that aren't gonna like it. You know?
No, but that's the thing, is like that it would be different if they were being exiled or annexed, but that's where they're choosing to be.
Yeah, but you know, again, I'm not saying it's the right writing, but like this is like Manifest Destiny without, you know, without the charm.
Yeah, it's just you know, and so like like I'm sure the book will get better. And I guess here's the thing. The other part of this is like, you know, again, like you said, Jed McKay is generally a good writer. However, like, you know, the way I felt about this book is the same way I felt about like the first issue of Avengers, where I was just like, this feels like really like by the numbers. Like it's almost like, you know, and I'm not, you know, it's not like it was terrible. It just was, it felt very basic too. And I was like, huh. And that book got better, you know, and so I believe this book will get better too. But I'm like, man, like I'm not sure Jen McKay like trusts the audience. You know, like I'm not saying he thinks we're dumb, but he's definitely not trying to challenge us at all. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's where we're at. So between that and then Ryan Stegman's art, which is fine, but I'm not like not necessarily a huge fan of, and then the character designs that I'm like, you know, to me, Cyclops looks a little weird, Beast looks a little weird, Kid Omega looks a little weird.
Wolverine looks like Namor in one panel.
Oh, does he look like Namor?
Just when he's like throwing a hit, like where all you see is like from his face, it looks like it's Namor throwing a punch.
That's funny. That's funny. So
yeah, there's gonna be a Namor book too, right? That's gonna be pretty tight.
There is a Namor book.
It just came out.
Yeah, I think it came out today, actually.
Yeah, I gotta get that shit.
Yeah,
Namor. So. I don't have my soundboard anymore, so I gotta do my own voices.
I got you.
So yeah, man.
Also, that reminds me of. Damn, I was gonna say rest in peace to that company, but I forgot their name.
Oh, Omnibus. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Omnibus.
I don't want to go on this whole tirade with that. Jay, we're supposed to, yeah. But yeah.
What does that remind you of that? What?
Well, because he said it came out today, and if they were still functioning, he could get it right now. Like,
yeah, I tried to buy X-Men. That's how I found out that's how I found out they're closing, is because I went to buy X-Men #1, and for some reason the Russian servers where I get my review copies aren't working. so so it's like it's closing, and now I have to get the bootleg. The bootleg took like 5 hours to download for some shit. Yeah.
Damn.
It's like extracting all my data.
Yeah. So, but anyway, should we look? What else do you all want to say about X-Men #1 before we rate it?
Just want to say again that I love the art.
Yeah.
Like, I love demon-looking Beast, and I don't know why Cyclops didn't really look that young to me, but I like.
Because you don't recognize faces, Joe.
I'm not great with recognizing faces.
Well, Joe is also like an anime manga dude, and everybody looks young.
That's true. Even the old people look young.
You know, like
also,
it's just the color of their hair or like the way their voices is that lets you know they're old.
I should also mention that whatchamacallit looked looked great to me though. I did like
Magic.
Magneto.
Oh,
No, I mean no, like all the women actually looked great. Like they look like how they're supposed to look in my
you know
opinion.
where Ryan Stegman put his time.
Yeah. But no, I actually liked the Magneto design. Like I don't know
Yeah.
like why he's in that chair. I'm sharing it now so the folks can see it.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's in that chair, and I don't know if he has to be or if it's just something that he's doing for effect. You know, he's trying to like give professor vibes.
Yeah.
But
No, he's trying to intimidate that cop.
I mean, he's definitely doing that.
Like that
but
chair
he
is
doesn't.
intimidating.
That
Like
that chair,
when you look down on someone,
even what he
from a sitting
says
position,
is like.
But at the same time, he's also wearing a suit. If he was wearing his,
but he's
X-Men
rocking that
outfit,
suit
like, that's a
though.
little
He's
bit
rocking.
more
You
intimidating.
said, oh, his costume would have been more intimidating.
Yeah, because that's the
Even like what he says,
you
he's like,
could've-
"Oh, you showed him all the things you have, but you haven't showed him the monsters." Yeah,
I mean, you really want to get intimidating? Wear your old costume and don't sit down. Just float there.
Yeah, see, and
but he
I
doesn't
would
need to
agree
do
with.
that for a measly. But he doesn't need to do that for a measly cop in Alaska. You know, like this is the better play here for me. Like
that would
like
be just
him
showing
showing
off.
up in his pajamas. Yeah, like him like this. Like even if he was in pajamas, he's like just what he says. He's like, oh, you know, perhaps one of the greatest monsters you hide or some shit. Like how he said it. Like just what he was saying is enough to intimidate her. You know, like she reached for her gun as soon as she saw him. Yeah, and he's like, "What are you gonna do with that?" Like, you know, she won't be able to undo the clasp that holds the holster together to unload because he'll just magnetically seal it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you
It's
know,
badass.
like the art. I mean, or the character design looks good, and I actually like the purple suit, which I'm just like I would not have guessed that would have been a thing that I personally would have been like, oh yeah, that would look cool. Like I would think
wish
a
he
purple
was.
suit.
I wish he was in his PJs like Hugh Hefner.
Did he not wear suits during the Krakoa age?
He wore the
He
white
did, but
costume, I remember.
yeah,
And then he wore like that lingerie stuff during the Hellfire Galas.
he wore suits,
Oh.
but he was wearing a white suit. He wasn't wearing purple suit because
He
his
didn't want to get
costume was white.
intimidating. Show up in that little Speedo he wore in the cartoon.
When's that cartoon coming back?
I'm sure.
I don't
like a
know.
year usually, right?
Xenocore says, I hope it's not like He-Man when all the old men were competing for like Mr. Olympia. And yeah, Loki, like that's kind of one of those Cyclops pictures. Like he looks really young but really buff. Like he's been working out longer than he's been alive.
Yeah. All right. Let's rate X-Men #1. Oz, what would you give X-Men #1 out of 5?
3. Basic as fuck. But if you're not reading books and you want to get into books like this, it's a good place to start. It's not gonna feel basic if you haven't read a bunch of X-Men books before.
That's fair. Jay, what would you rate X-Men #1?
I would give it a 4. I like the art and I like the character moments.
Fair. Moses Magnum, what would you rate X-Men #1?
I would rate it 5 because it's gonna prove my point that they really have to dumb down X-Men to get people to read X-Men because of when they're introduced in the MCU.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. Like X-Men #1 didn't wow me, and I really wanted to like, you know, I have a predisposition to like X-Men, so I really like want to like it, and I couldn't as much as I wanted to, and that makes me unhappy. So I'm gonna give it a 3. So okay, let's talk some TV, good people. That's your cue, Joe.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Shoot him! Shoot him!
I'm also thinking
Shoot him.
we should have put the Junkions in there, the intro.
Junkie.
Also,
no one needs more about gel coat.
When the fourth round will...
Don't you call it?
does it look good already? Jumbo Scampi for limited.
This is the beauty of being a Transformers fan, and of course Jay's friend for so long. Like, he says that, and I know exactly what he means. Like, I don't even like. There's no. Yeah, I know exactly what he meant, and you are correct. You're correct. That line would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. Xenocore says, I have not seen any of the Acolyte yet. Is it worth watching any of it? Just a yes or no, please.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Well,
Definitely,
hold on. Do you like Star Wars? If so, no.
Wait, Oz, how much of it did you actually watch?
Like the first 4 episodes.
Okay, so you watched the first half of it. Got
I
it.
followed the hype though.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
You didn't watch the whole. You didn't watch the finale.
No. Every time I learn something else about this show, it
So
just
then,
seems
but
stupider
then
to
you
me.
don't know if it like the finale ties it all together. And I can tell you because I only watched the finale. And yeah, like watching the finale, it lands in a place where if it didn't continue, I would be satisfied watching the whole journey, and it could still like if they do choose to do more with it, it's cool too. You know, there's room for these characters
and
to go
I
where they're
guess,
gonna go.
I guess you're right, because I had the exact same feeling after watching the first episode. If I don't see anything else, I'm good. Like, the characters can still go somewhere.
Yeah. But to me, that's a mark of a good. That's like, you know, that's old school Star Wars, like where I could read a book and enjoy it, and then just talk to my friends about, like, oh man, that was good. You know,
There's nothing good about this show.
that's not true.
It's a little.
I mean, if nothing else, I would say the fight choreography has to be.
Dude,
you know what?
Yeah,
Actually, yeah, I will. That's the fights that I've seen have all been decent. I've heard the guy who plays Smilo Ren is like really, really good for the show that they call him.
Ren? Is that what they're calling this?
Yeah, because his mask had the smile.
Yeah, no, I understand it. I just didn't know.
You haven't heard that?
No,
Like,
no.
that's
Listen,
I honestly have no idea what the character's name is. That's what I've heard him called though.
no.
Xenocore says, I watch trash anime all the time. I just gotta know if it lands. I think for Xeno, like, I think he would enjoy this season of Acolyte.
So here's the thing. Like, let me, and I know we talked about this some when we talked about.
He goes here. Okay, the stunt team earned their paycheck. That's good. About production. Production's good. Like those backdrops, like none of it looks like it was shot at like some theme park or something.
I mean, it there's some parts that are better than others, I think. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm not saying that, like, it's one of those things where it's weird because it's like the production quality, like, say for instance, it doesn't have this, it doesn't feel like it has the same level of production quality, at least to me, as like, say, like The Mandalorian did.
Do you see where the $180 million it cost to make went?
No, well, look, I seen some of those Mandalorian episodes, and they were like, dude, I've been to that park. You know, like I had my 10th birthday party there. You know, like especially the Robert Rodriguez episodes. You know, so you know they look like Power Rangers shit. You know, this didn't look like that at all. Like even the interiors, like the way the interior of the ship looked at the last episode. I'm judging by the last episode and the first 2 episodes what I watched, and those all look good to me. You know, one of the
the last episode did great. Like it was
like
really
a movie. Like
yeah.
I'm like, man, they should have just made a movie instead of like the other movies. Like this should have been a movie, you know?
I know people like a comparison I've seen a lot is people are like, supposedly these episodes and like House of the Dragon episodes are basically in the same budget.
Yeah.
And so when you look at House of the huh?
I was just you're probably gonna say the same thing, but what I've heard is House of the Dragon looks way better.
I mean, House of the Dragon looks phenomenal. Like it looks every part of it looks phenomenal to me, at least. And I'm just saying, like, I will say that the production quality on like a show like a House of the Dragon definitely seems of higher quality. Like I was shocked to hear that it's the same amount of money. I don't know what, and don't get me wrong, like it's different things happening. Like it is different things happening, and I do feel for instance, a House of the
But
Dragon.
that's why Acolyte should look better, because Acolyte has less white people in it, so they have more money to use on props and shit.
Oh wow! See, that's not right.
He's right. There's also a lot of women, so like that cuts the casting budget like by a third, right?
See, it's not right, but it's true. Like those people probably are getting paid less, and that's messed up.
Except for the green one, because she's the wife of Lisa Headland. That's where all the money went.
Is she really?
Yeah, the green bald one with the whippy.
Yeah, no, I know
yeah, that's her wife.
I didn't know that.
That's why she got cast and can't act.
You don't think she can act?
No. Unless they told her.
Well, look, when she was talking to that dude from Peacemaker, like when she's like they're in her quarters or whatever.
Yeah.
He acted circles around her. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, listen,
fair, she doesn't have a lot of screen time, so.
Yeah, and
but this was a 2-person conversation scene that's supposed to be really tense, and it wasn't as tense as it could have been.
Well, no, he's the better actor, but every scene has a better actor, right? Like so it's like, I'm not knocking you, but I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just
every
like,
scene has a better
because
actor.
he's better doesn't make her bad. You know what I mean?
Not every scene.
Again, I'm judging from what I've seen. I didn't see her throughout the series. Yeah.
Well, not every scene has a better actor. You don't think?
No, because the scenes where the twins are talking, they both suck.
See. Look,
Tiger Claw in chat says that's one of the complaints I hear about the Acolyte. It has less white people. That is a lot of what people are complaining about. That's why they've been review bombing and why they.
I've definitely heard that.
Like reviewing scores are like so low, and it's like, I mean, at a certain point, fuck you. Like,
right.
Not every show needs to be overloaded with whites. Like there are a ton of shows that are just white people.
Yeah,
and
plus,
you can go to watch those.
If it's like takes place in the south central part of the galaxy, like
boo. Derek H, you are the 5th member of Fantastic Forum. Tell us what you thought of the finale of the Acolyte, friend. Oh, unmute.
Hello, everybody.
Unmute. Hello.
I'm not muted. I'm not muted.
Good.
No, you're good. You're good.
Am I muted?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay. I just wanted to
Derek,
say that
Derek
H,
the
I'm
finale.
calling from
I'm sorry.
Oh No, It's NoHo. I'm glad that Joe watched all 8 episodes, like he said he was going to, and that he's not a liar, like I thought he was going to turn out to be. But what I saw was I don't care how much it costs. Like that means literally nothing to me because I don't got to pay for it. I pay for Disney Plus. They can spend however much. I don't go to a movie and start counting up the dollars. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Or watch a TV show and start counting up how much it's costing because
you will when they raise the price of the subscription.
You have no idea how. You have no much money. How much of this budget goes up producers' noses? Like all this is it's just drug money coming in and out. So I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me as long as it's a good story, and I'm having fun. This was good. I liked it. It's set up that there's definitely going to be a second season. I don't see how there can't be a second season. Although I can't see how there can't be a second She-Hulk season either. But that's beside the point. They set up a lot of stuff. I like the fact that the Jedi were the bad guys in this series. I like the fact that they carried through with the fact that they're the bad guys, and that according to the story, the way this ended, they're going to be the bad guys for the next 100 years. Like they are lying to the Senate. They are making stuff up as they go along.
It's one thing to try to portray the Jedi as the bad guys. I can understand that, but the way they do it is just dumb.
But it's not like it's not dumb. It's like it's nuanced.
Like,
it's like they do with the priest.
I saw the scene where the guy Soul kills the mom, and she's like, "Oh, I was gonna let her go join you guys anyway, or I was gonna let her join you guys." I'm like, why the fuck did you turn into smoke and come at him though? Why couldn't you just say that ahead of time?
What does it matter? Why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Because that's
I thought Jedi weren't supposed to kill. Period.
That's why not just say, "Hey, I'm gonna let homegirl go with you guys."
Are you working for the?
Why do the whole? Why make it look like you're gonna attack?
Well, but that's the whole thing.
Oz didn't watch that episode. Like he just watched that scene.
I got touched by smoke. Oh no!
Well, when the smoke touched the Wookiee, he went on a fucking rampage, didn't he? Okay,
they didn't know about. They didn't know that. They didn't know that.
They're Jedis. He's a mind reader. He doesn't know that.
He's not
exactly. If he's a mind reader,
yeah.
If he just looked at what was going on, he would say, "Oh, maybe I don't need to kill everybody in the room."
Unless she was lying.
Why was his
she attacking?
lightsaber out? Why did he pull his lightsaber in the first place?
If you're just gonna let the kid go, why attack?
But she didn't attack.
Why was he?
Why'd she turn into smoke?
Well, we won't ever know now, right? That's the whole point.
That's an attack.
Why is it an attack?
Why not just be upfront and say, "Hey, we're gonna let her go." I'm not happy. I'm not happy with it. I'm not cool with it. But that's her choice. We're gonna let her go.
It's wild because I feel like this is definitely one of those situations where it's kind of like it kind of is a Rorschach test. Like when I saw it, I was like, why did he stab her for nothing? And it's like she turned to smoke.
Exactly.
You don't know what she's about to do. Like, and
so
he's
just gonna sit there and wait till like, oh, she killed some dude. I guess smoke means bad. That's how people get killed.
He's a Jedi. He's what? He's a Jedi. He's the utmost cop.
Like he just overreacted and killed a person that wasn't doing anything to him.
The next person that did the exact same thing mind controlled a Wookiee and went on a rampage.
Why was the Wookiee in her house either? Why was anybody in her house?
I mean,
why were they on that planet for 7 weeks and didn't inspect the mining colony that they knew about?
Why, like 4 cops come into your house, and start saying, "Hey, there's a really good chance we're gonna take your kids away from you."
You know what happens? You know what happens when 4 cops show up in your house? You don't reach for a gun. That's the first thing you don't do.
Like,
real quick.
Keep saying like she act like she did something she wasn't supposed to be doing. Like, and that's the whole thing. Like, that's
Real quick. Xenocrash, was the Acolyte ruined by Sweet Baby Inc. or not? No, it wasn't.
What is that?
It's a narrative about diversity. There are people that are trying to get more diversity into media. And no, the diversity isn't the issue that is ruined. Like, Diversity isn't what makes the Acolyte bad.
It is for Oz, but that's about it.
I mean, it is for a bunch of racist assholes.
And Oz. I don't want to say he's one of those.
But no, it's a good show. Oz has his issues with it, obviously.
Which he didn't watch. Even the scene he's talking about, he only watched the scene. He didn't watch the episode.
But I don't think his issues are with the diversity. I think he just doesn't like the writing.
Or writer.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The writing and the acting. And some of the, well, I guess it goes along with the writing, but some of like the logical,
the showrunner
don't make sense. And yeah, that all goes back to writing.
Right. But the fact that the main character is black isn't an issue for you, right?
No, I just don't like that she can't act.
Right. So no, they did not. It's not the diversity as an issue.
Like, what is it about her acting exactly that is so bad about it? Like, because I know, I'm honestly, I'm genuinely.
For me, she's no different than Luke in A New Hope. Like, even that kind of, it just made me feel like I'm watching the movie again. You know,
it's that she's playing two totally different characters, but playing them the same. Like, there's not even a subtle differentiation between her and her sister.
You don't think so?
No.
Yeah, they're the same person. Literally, they are. Like, according to the story, they are literally the exact same person. So why would she?
Like, you feel like
you're ignoring the story.
Well, you didn't see those episodes.
Wait, but I guess what I'm saying is, it's the same person playing two characters.
Right.
If those two characters were dressed the same, you don't feel like you could tell which one was supposed to be at any given time?
Not if they didn't grow up together. Like, they're separated at what, like 9 or 10, something like that, and they've been apart. Like, they've had completely different lives for what is it, like 10 years after they were separated.
But you've never seen like those stories about the twins that get separated at birth and then they find each other and they literally have like the same lives?
They're both doctors.
It's similar. They're both force users.
No, but I'm just saying, like, no, but I'm saying, like, literally, like, they both like.
But at least
marrying.
You can do it subtly.
A guy named Jim.
You can do it subtly.
The thing is, you don't have to do shit. It's fantasy. Like, you know, if you don't like it, you don't like it.
Okay, I don't like it.
All this stuff is made up. All this pretend.
Yeah.
All this stuff.
But that's not a good. That's not a good. That's not a good. I mean,
fake person is adding like
you're trying to get him to like it or give you a reason why he doesn't like it. He didn't watch the episodes. He can't tell you why he didn't like it.
I didn't watch the episodes because I didn't like the ones they did watch.
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Okay. Like, you can't say you don't like the whole thing. Like, that there's an asterisk to your review, just like there is to mine. And I loved it. And there's an asterisk to mine too.
You're doing a review show.
Yeah,
you're doing a review show saying I don't need to review it because I didn't like it.
Like you have really hard opinions on stuff you didn't watch. Like the scene you're referring to a lot is a scene you watched, not the episode you watched. You know?
Okay, I still didn't like the episodes that I did watch, and I even went back and watched the next one because of you, Derek, and it was horrible.
That was episode 4.
Okay, Snarky J.
I wish I had a like that.
I think he has to be Snarky O.
Snarky Mermaid J.
I'd never leave the room, and I'd make more money on OnlyFans.
So, Derek, why did you like the Acolyte?
Yep,
I liked it because it was I got to see Star Wars from a different point of view than I usually see Star Wars. I got to see the Jedi from a different point of view than I usually get to see Jedi. I got to see a lot of good lightsaber battles, in a different way than just two old guys clanging their swords together like they're in Ren Fair or something. I'm not a fan of that. I really like the Acolyte. I like the did when the bad guy threw both his lightsabers and he went spinning, and that was a cool move. Yeah, that was a cool move. Period.
And when he blocked it with the
I
force,
actually said, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Oh goddamn!" When
in the finale when he blocked everything with the force and he hit him out with the force at the same time, that was a shit.
Yeah, he like the guy had 2 lightsabers thrown at him. He turned his lightsaber off and then blocked it. I was like, damn, that's badass. He was
and hit the dude.
He's like, I don't even need my lightsaber right now.
Yeah, he used it as a defense and an offense at the same time. Like that was a shit. Like that's like some video game shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was a video game move. When Osha turned her lightsaber from blue to red right there, I was like, oh damn. I thought they had like put it in like chemicals or something to turn it red.
Well, you have to bleed the crystal. You can't just is it instant?
What the hell? What? Okay, I don't even know what bleeding the crystal is. Like, what does that entail?
You're not a Star Wars fan. I thought they had fucking retard.
I thought they had to do like a meditation or something to bleed the crystal.
Yeah, that was old.
I thought it was.
That was before Disney.
You channel your rage and your anger in the dark side of the force into the crystal and make it submit to your will, and it cracks and bleeds.
Listen to what you're saying.
That's new Disney shit.
That's what you're saying.
That was in the books too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
No, but it's not entirely because some of them didn't have rage and shit. Like the crystal just reads to you. The force calls to you.
You've read more of the books than
I read the one that has the blueprint on how to build the shit and
you
find the crystal.
You read the one. Jay's read like everything, so
I
will defer to
read
Jay
the
on
one
that.
where you have to build your lightsaber and pick a crystal.
Yeah, but that's not a dark side.
Jay hasn't said a word.
It doesn't matter. One of those dudes ended up being dark side anyway, and it didn't matter. He was dark side no matter what color his lightsaber was.
You can force the crystal to become red. Yeah, like that is how you can get a red lightsaber, is by forcing another crystal to become red with the dark side of the force. That's not the only way to get a red crystal, but that is one of the dramatic ways.
Right.
The drama. Well, he said the main character switched it from whatever color it was to red, and it doesn't just it's not an instant thing, right?
No, it wasn't instant. It was basically it just overcomes. It goes from like blue to purple to red. Actually a really cool effect. Like one of my favorite effects in the show.
Yeah, no, it was
like
super
the fact
cool.
That we got to see.
Go ahead,
I like
Eric. Sorry.
The fact that the Jedi would go in with overpowering force. Like that's what also made me see the Jedi as like the bad guys. Like now, when Jedi say, "Oh, we need to send a representative to try to these trade negotiations or whatever," they send 2 people to basically make a whole army back down. Here, they would send like 6 guys every time. When they went out, they're like, "Okay, we gotta get a bunch of guys because we're gonna about to wreck shop." And first time they did that, all of them died. The second time they did that, I was like, "Oh shit!" They sent like 10 guys to go get Saul, but they never. It kind of worried me that they didn't use her lightsaber whip, her light whip or whatever. They only used it once, and she only used it to kill a bug. And I was like, that was a waste. Like, I wanted to see her fight the new bad guy. That I thought was lacking. But other
you got to save some
I
stuff for season 2.
And if they get to do season 2, because everybody's now people are all worried about budgets all of a sudden. Oh no, it's been $180 million. Oh no! I did not want to see you guys complain about how much money Marvel's spending on this X-Men comic. You didn't say, well, these colors are very bright. This thing must have cost like $50 for them to color and draw. This is
I did
way too
complain how
expensive.
that dude he writes too many comics and he fucks them up on purpose so that they don't give him more work for the budget. But yeah.
I don't care. I hope they spend $300 million on the next one.
So, with the exception of, I've seen this all before. I agree with a lot of what Derek is saying. Like showing the darker side of the Jedi. Like one of my favorite stories is The Thread of Peace, which is an old Republic story where the Sith and the Jedi are basically forming a treaty, and you have this group of Jedi that are like, no, that's going to make us complacent, and it's going to give them time to like get stronger. We need to sabotage this so that it doesn't go through. And it's like, I think some people mistakenly have this idyllic image of Jedi, like they're all paragons. And it's like, dude, Darth Vader was a Jedi. Like how are you still holding on to this? Like the Jedi are people. There's a line in the Acolyte where the guy is like, you guys are trying to like tame something that can't be controlled, like your emotions. And it's like, yeah, that was part of why the original order kind of fell apart. And that's why Luke changed things when he founded the new Jedi Order. So it's like, okay, I kind of get some people, this is new, and their idyllic version of the Jedi is just incorrect. If they knew the DNA of Star Wars, they would know this, but they don't. They think they do, but yeah.
Well, Lucas was trying to. Lucas was trying to explain that to people all the way back since the prequels. He was trying to say, "Hey, the Jedi are really complacent, and they're not." He didn't go as far as saying they're not all good, but he was like,
yeah,
well, there's a lot of problems in a Jedi society, and he spent 3 movies trying to say that to people, and people still don't get it. People still think they're saints, and the whole point of a lot of these movies now, these series are that the Jedi are people, and that it doesn't take a lot to make a person go bad, and when a person that's really powerful goes bad, that's bad for a lot of people. Like Soul was showing signs of during this whole show that he was way too attached, not just attached, he was like obsessed with this girl, and that was only going to go bad. And guess what? It went bad.
Yeah.
And it went really bad to a point where a lot of people died.
Me being a gray Jedi myself, like I've always been more on the gray side of Jedis, and it's like to me that's the way to be. Yeah, but they don't like us. Yeah,
I don't. Now Ventress figured it out.
Yeah,
she wasn't a gray Jedi, but she wasn't Sith either. Like she actually
she was
found
like charcoal gray.
Like she found the sweet spot where you can use the Force to further your means without kind of bending. Like a lot of the dark Jedi we see are just so self-absorbed.
Yeah,
and, like
they're extremists on both sides. Like the one dude that really exemplified it for me the most, he's a dark Jedi, but I would say I would call him more of a gray one, was the dude from Ahsoka, the Ray Stevenson guy, the one that he died, where he's like, yeah, I don't like the Jedi how they did it, but I'm gonna use the Force. And it's like he trusts the Force to get what he wants to do, but he's still like, he doesn't want to be fully. He doesn't want to be evil, but he wants to get what he needs to do done, and he needs to do bad things to do what he needs to, And to me, like he's more again, he's another gray one that's closer to charcoal. Yeah, the gray than gray neutral. But
and I did want to say, I actually love the Sith that we have in the Acolyte. He's amazing. Like I love that they nailed his philosophy down. Like, and legit, he's like one of the most interesting Sith we've had to me in a while. Like without going deep into like the old books,
right?
Yeah, he's actually really interesting. Like he just wants a student, and yeah, like he is
Well,
great.
he actually wants a love bunny. He's they're having sex. Him and Osha are definitely having sex. Just like Saul wanted to.
You don't know that.
But
that's an OSHA violation.
Didn't go through it. Yeah, dude. Like what? Like how does Saul not want to have sex with Osha, and how is the bad guy not actively having sex with Osha?
Like that dude turned OSHA bad with his dick. Just standing there like, yeah, that's my dick.
You didn't want
to. He turned her out like a prostitute. Like she might as well be walking the streets at this point.
Listen,
I wouldn't say that. I don't really like to talk about women in that way.
Like, why even sexualizing the young
what
lady
way?
that there was no sex scenes?
I will say, as far as Sith master apprentice relationships go, I was seeing it more like a Bane Rain type of thing, where they never got together. It was just Bane's whole thing was the philosophy, and imprinting that on Rain was his most important job. Like that was what he wanted to accomplish. And Rain never had like a physical intimate relationship with Bane. Like it just wasn't what they were about. Like she had relationships with other guys, but her master was her master, and Bane's apprentice was his apprentice. And I kind of like so far, like, and I'm not saying they won't take it, but so far that's what I've seen in the Acolyte, where he just really has an idea in his head about what he wants and bringing her into that.
And to get that, he has to show up naked in the pool.
I mean, he didn't bring her there.
No, she followed him.
Right. He knew. He knew. He didn't have. When he got out of that water, he was like, "Look, you can come in, or I can come out. Oh, you want me to come out? Okay, here we go." And then there you go. He showed his little mini saber. And then at the end of the show, they're holding hands.
Little flesh-colored lightsaber.
They're not holding hands. Yeah.
I just say,
like at the end, like they're holding hands, not because. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, explain to me why they're not having sex right now on the spaceship.
No, I'm just saying. I didn't see their relationship that way. You could be right. Like you watch a lot more media. You consume a lot more media than I do.
Or he looked at that a little more than you did in that moment. Yeah.
Like, yeah, and this is one of what's a Xenocore says it is a PG-13 world. I will say for the most part, the books are very PG-13. Like their sex as recreation is not a huge theme in Star Wars. And so maybe it could be because of that I'm not seeing it. So yeah, there could be just blinders on to the moment.
Fair. So
okay, so do I give stars for the whole show or just this one episode?
Hell yeah, you're the if anyone gets to do it, it's you. You've been bitching at us about not talking about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Out
And
of
Larry,
5
and
stars, I give
Larry
it,
the lying, conniving, I don't know, whatever you want to call him, is such and such. He said he's like, I'm gonna do a weekly taco for you, Derek, and he didn't do it.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Never did. Never
I
did.
didn't.
That's why he has to watch that big booby girl talk about it.
Yeah, I watched Snarky J. I thought she can. Oh, of course, Jay knows her. I watched her today when she was complaining about who's like. I don't think she knew who Darth Plagueis was. She's like, who's this guy? I don't think she really knows a lot about Star Wars.
She doesn't.
She was
saying stuff
according
about,
to what Jay says.
No, I listened to her talk about Star Wars. Like, she doesn't know shit. She's a dumb girl as far as Star Wars is concerned.
wait a minute, Jay. Come on, man.
He added the asterisk. Right.
But
after he saw our faces.
No. Like Jay would never care about that.
I've only seen the one video, and that was her talking about Star Wars and her being like wrong about Star Wars. Like, I don't know her other content. Xenocore says, who is this person y'all diss of? Basically, Snarky J is a YouTuber that Derek listens to. He got some bad
I watch her stuff
mojo
too.
from her. She was talking shit about Star Wars and making Derek feel bad about watching the Acolyte. So he put her into our Discord, which if you're not on our Discord, please join our Discord. We have a bunch of cool shit there. So that we can all just kind of revel in her ignorance. And I did. I watched her video and it was awful. I don't know, her boobs are fine. But that's about all she is. But
I love how there's 5 of us here.
Video,
I love how there's 5 of us here and 3 of us watch her videos, but our videos don't get 4 likes.
But I didn't like her video too, either. Like, I disliked her video.
I like your video.
I actually put a dislike on her video, and I put a dislike on a couple of the comments. Like, I went through and they were being dumb. So
Jay said I didn't like her video either.
But yeah, I've only seen her one video. It was bad enough for me to not watch her content ever again. If I want bad takes on stuff, I'll just go listen to Altiori
or us.
I thought he was right. I
got you guys for that.
Right. Like, I get bad takes once a week already.
He doesn't even come to us for that. Like I was joking when I told the dude earlier when he's like, you got a gun to your face. Like, yeah, we tell him, Jay, you got to be here on Wednesday. He's like, yeah, I'll be there. But it's like, yeah, I didn't realize how much of that is true.
No, you guys are generally, your takes aren't terrible. You guys have some pretty good takes. Like, not always, but enough that I keep coming back every week.
Like, there's definitely a difference between a bad take and a take that you just don't agree with.
Right?
Yeah. Because I know that I've got people that have
I disagree with.
Right.
But it's not a bad take.
Tyreek says they're good takes, bad takes, and fantastic forum takes. Like, hey, we're the ugly.
The ugly take.
But yeah, yeah, she's just awful.
I'll tell you, I don't know if it's a good take or a bad take, but I don't, because you guys were talking about this earlier. I don't understand why people think all Jedi are saints. Like, I haven't thought that since Phantom Menace. With like little boy Anakin's like, hey, we're slaves. Are you gonna free us? And Qui-Gon just looking at her like, no,
just you.
Like, why are you even asking that? I guess we're making you.
Yeah,
some shit.
Yeah,
obviously, like there's a grayness there. I don't.
But
well,
like, why?
But he
why
was a
are
great
we-
Qui-Gon was a great Jedi. So.
But why?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even understand. Like, from the original trilogy, that all Jedi aren't, saints.
Right.
Like, I mean, the friggin' like Darth Vader was a Jedi.
And Vader was like,
one of the greatest.
You don't know that
according to Obi-Wan.
Well, the
You don't know that
original,
till, like,
they make it seem
middle-
like Vader was like converted, like he was twisted, and like they make it seem like he fell from grace in the originals. It's not until you get to the prequels that you start seeing like, oh, they're all assholes.
Oh,
Like,
not all of them.
And then
all of them.
with how they treat Anakin, you kind of start thinking, what? Like I see why he went there.
Yeah, because even like when you start seeing like the way they handle like politicians, like they're dicks too. Like they're just another shit party. Did we lose Jay? No, Jay.
He's gone.
Even when they deny Anakin's like promotion to master or whatever, I was sitting there like, why? Like why? I'm sure they explained it.
They only did it because he was close with the senator.
I don't think that it was only because he's close to the senator. Like he just wasn't. He
he was banging the other senator. He was already having sex with the senator, so being close with the senator.
Well, they didn't know that though, right?
He hid that because he's having sex with one of them over here, and he's having. He's going. They knew. Really, they don't. How did they not know? And then he's going to concerts with another senator.
He used force.
No, Obi-Wan said that.
No, I don't. I get you.
They went on
but
vacation
Obi-Wan's
together.
not a snitch. Obi-Wan ain't like that.
Yeah, he's not like Jack Black.
Man, I just think that like the reasoning that they gave, where they're like, dude, like he's not centered. Like this fool wasn't like he wasn't centered. It would like within the Force. Like you could tell this fool had like issues to work out still.
Like,
which is not wrong.
All I'm saying is I was there with Anakin up until he kills the kids.
That's no, I was there when he killed them too. Yeah,
like we say the kids. Are you talking about
the Padawans?
Why wasn't the Sand People enough?
They're bad.
Oh, see,
weren't they?
His mother was like on a cross, like on a dominatrix cross. Like they're bad people.
His mother had been raped like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, like he's probably part Sand Raider. Like,
so because a few bad Sand People rape his mom, you killed the entire village?
Yeah.
Yes, because they knew what was going on in that. They knew what was going on in that hut.
I said I'm a great Jedi. I'm a great Jedi. I'm not gonna let them I'm not gonna let them breed more of those people.
Plus, sand gets everywhere.
When the fifth guy walked in there,
not just a bad take, a fantastic.
Everybody saw that 5th guy walking there. They knew. They knew.
FF.
Everybody in that village knew what was happening, and it wasn't the first time.
Yeah.
Real quick, I unfortunately must take my leave. I'm gonna rate Star Wars: The Acolyte a 5 out of 5. I loved it. Thought it was great. Love the diversity, and yeah, that's it.
Why did Oz leave? No.
For work, he can't be associated with people like us and Jay.
Later, Jay. Like Jay didn't even let us be like, okay, man, see you later. He's like, I'm out. Oh, hey, Jay, see you later.
All right, later.
Have fun with your intake. Have fun with your intake game.
Oh, okay, cool. I will. Not today, but this weekend.
What was your final thought, Jay?
Go watch Robot Dreams. It's in theaters. It's amazing. It's like, dude, the best animated adaptation of a graphic novel I've like ever seen.
Wow, that's high praise.
Yeah, go check it out.
Cool.
Bye, Jay.
All right. Yeah, yeah. Anybody got anything else they want to say? Actually, before we wrap up our conversation on the Acolyte.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Like I told you, I didn't watch the series. I watched the finale and the first two. And watching this finale, this is the one time that I do feel like, I'm usually vindicated in like, oh, I didn't watch the whole thing. This is one where like watching the finale made me wish I would have watched the other episodes.
Yeah, you should.
I'm probably gonna do that this weekend. But Larry, you've been telling me about House of the Dragon and shit, so it's like that's what I did this weekend.
I mean, yeah, but I've been telling you about the Acolyte too.
Yeah, but I mean, I only have time for one.
Okay, well, you made a choice. Don't put that on me.
No, I blame you. I blame you for my shirt that I'm wearing today. I'm like, oh shit, we were talking about House of the Dragon.
See, look, the bad takes them permeated your choice. You know what I'm saying? They were like, oh, Acolyte's not worth watching.
But like just everything, if I could like review the finale, it's like, the fight scenes were good, the story were good, the acting was good. Like even like in the finale, like the show, stop flashing your pussy. You got to use white balance on that cat, man.
I know, right? Look, we don't contrast well. Like, God, please.
But
anyway, continue.
But in this finale, like the finale really shines, and I would bet like in the finale they spent out of that like what is it, 180 million, like. I think 80 of those million came out in this final episode because the shit was good. Like everything in it, like was good. The makeup.
And episode 5 too.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, say that again. Episode 5.
Episode 5. Yeah, like the show.
I'll go
episode
back to see it. Yeah. I'll go back and check that out.
Yeah, no, I do feel like the like it's unfortunate because I do feel like in some ways like the show starts off with a bang with the opening, and it doesn't quite get back to that until like about halfway through. Like, which is it's unfortunate, but like because it's like, and it's interesting because I feel like the two things that it like you probably could have benefited from was it could have benefited from more action earlier. Not even though it wasn't terrible, like the pacing of it or anything like that. And then also like the political intrigue aspect that especially comes in towards the end, like more of that would have been awesome too. Like, that more fleshed out, I think would have been pretty great. But that's like, I like that kind of stuff. So, yeah. But anyway,
that's what everybody complained about during the prequels. They complained about there's too much political stuff, and now people want more of it. So
no, I love that in the prequels myself, but again, it's me.
But I will say
I want it in my fantasy. I don't want it in my real life.
See, but I feel like political intrigue in the prequel era is different than political intrigue today. Like, I mean, writing is in a different place now than it was then.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about like George Lucas, you know what I mean? I'm talking about like just like the kind of stories that we're telling are different now. And so like political intrigue kind of rings a little bit more true now than it did back then, where like back then it feels like everything was just like conspiracy theories,
Like when they're naming when they name one of the bad guys Newt Raygun. Nobody's gonna figure that one out.
So
he gave us social security.
So yeah. Derek, you want to give some final thoughts on the Acolyte before we do some ratings?
I thought Acolyte was great. I don't know if I already rated. thought I rated it already. If not, I give it 4.5 stars. Hope they make another one. I want to get past this part of fandom getting too much information and deciding that they know better for everything about like how much stuff should cost and how much people should spend and who should be hired for what. And stop complaining and enjoying stuff. I had a hard time getting into this as much as it wasn't easy as it should have been because of all the negative fandom around it, and I don't like that. I need happiness in my life. I can't take all this negativity, so I just want more. I want people to be happy that there's Star Wars in the first place, and because you guys are complaining about dumb stuff.
That's been one of my big arguments, but again, it's a conversation that's way too philosophical that I do not want to do right now.
A wise man recently told me we don't need good enough.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. But
God bless you.
And
God
one of my
bless you,
things
Francis.
is like, everybody's like, Deadpool. I hear these people in the morning news talking about like Deadpool is gonna save the Marvel universe, and then the bitch went and said like, unless you're one of those who says, oh, the Marvel universe doesn't need saving, and I'm like, fuck you, bitch, it doesn't. Because it's like you got comics. Like if there's an event like Endgame, you go back to your Spider-Man comic. If you've been buying Spider-Man comics religiously, you're just buying those back again anyway. Like that and that's what that shit is. So the where Disney fails is they think everybody wants to watch every fucking superhero, and that's not it. Different superheroes are for different people, demographics. Like that's what I said. Like the She-Hulk should have been like on ABC, and like. Instead everything's on Disney Plus. Everybody expects it to be the same, and it's like not like Kamala Khan's not going to be like WandaVerse, like WandaVision. You know what I mean? Like it's not, even though it's on the same platform, it's not going to be like if you're a fan of WandaVision, you might not be a fan of Miss Marvel. You know what I mean? Like
which is okay.
In comics, it's okay, but for TV, it's not. They need that to make all the same amount of money across the board, Like, and that's why they feel like
we should be on like season. We should be on season 4 or 5 of Ms. Marvel by now. The fact that we aren't shows how they threw away something that I thought was great. That was incredible. They had everything they needed, and they tossed it. Same thing for She-Hulk. We should be on season 3 of She-Hulk right now. But it's not gonna happen because it didn't put up in-game numbers. So
right, and
that's why I don't think we're gonna get
deserves.
So they're looking at TV the way that people consume comics, and you're thinking of comics as once a month thing, ongoing. Like there's no breaks. Some of them have breaks. Don't get me wrong, but you can do miniseries, you can do this, but they have a different demographic. Like the people that were reading fucking Squirrel Girl aren't the people that were reading fucking Hit Monkey, and there was a crossover of a few, but there ain't. It's not. You're not gonna get, if you're marketing a book like Hit Monkey to somebody, you're not gonna. It's a different audience, And then like there's other publishers they could count on, like they're doing stuff better than like, and that's they're trying to do that. They're trying to replicate the comics universe in terms of sales, but they want the movie sales in the comics, and it's like you're not getting that in comics. Like how are you gonna get it on TV? Like the perfect example was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like it goes into what was happening into the movies when it and then it dips back and does its own thing. If you're an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, you're gonna be like, oh man, okay, now watch the movie. Okay, they tie in. All right, cool. Now we're back to what I like. And that was like a really good example. That's like now I'm watching it now because it's like that's where I can get like my TV comics. Like that's how it feels like comics, And another perfect example was the Netflix shit. It's like the Netflix shit was stuff that maybe your little toddler you don't want to watch just yet, So this is for mommy and daddy comics. You can watch Avengers, we'll watch this, and it gives you similar. It's still the same genre, the same thing, and that I feel like that's destroying. That's part of the problem, the way they're handling that. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant, but
also I want to give it up for you guys for putting me on to Evil. I started watching Evil season 1. I started season 1, and
Nice.
so far it's pretty good. Like every week, somebody else gets possessed and needs a demon pulled out of them, and it's good to the point where now the main characters are getting possessed and need demons pulled out of them. And one lady's trying to get picked up at bars and stuff, and put on sexy outfits. I'm like, okay, having sex dreams. I'm like, okay, and then more demons are popping up, and I think Evil's a very good show. So I want to thank you guys for. I never would have watched it otherwise if it weren't for you guys talking about it. So thank you for that.
Derek.
And
look, that's Moses.
And, let Paramount Plus know.
Thank you, Moses.
I know, because I told those guys about it too.
Paramount Plus screwed me over. They popped up with your subscription that has ended screen, and they popped up like 3 weeks ago. And I was like, oh, okay, let me go and renew my subscription. I renew my subscription, and then like a week later, the screen popped up again. Say, hey, your subscription is expired. I was like, no, it's not. I just hit refresh, and it went away. I was like, wait a minute, you sons of bitches got me to pay for like two subscriptions for nothing. And I know I'm not getting that money. I'm not even going to complain because I know for a fact that I can't get that money back. So I'm not even going to try. They screwed me. Good job with Paramount Plus screwing me. So now I'm watching extra episodes of Voyager now. I get my money back.
You should watch Tulsa King.
That looks like a bad show.
You'll like it. It's like an old.
Sylvester Stallone trying to.
Yeah. But I think you'll enjoy it. It's like an old '90s, like Nowhere to Run with Van Damme. Like it's just one of those.
That's classic.
I love that. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Nowhere to Run. Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That and Cyborg.
Cyborg's good. I mean, well, it may not be good, but I like it.
It's a Western.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite movies. Like, even in one of the panels I was at WonderCon, I'm like, they're talking about weird westerns. I'm like, hey, would you guys consider like Cyborg? Like, that's the greatest fucking movie. Everybody on the panel was like, yeah, they love that movie. I'm like, nobody's brought that shit up ever. And I'm like, I did it.
I did it.
Yeah.
Oz, do you want to? Oh, are you leaving, Derek?
I was about to, but none of Oz spew something.
All right, Derek.
No,
you go ahead if you like. If you like, cool. If you want to stick around, you're more than welcome.
No, I'll hang out. I want to disagree with whatever Oz has to say.
Well, listen, I'm just gonna ask Oz to give his rating because I mean, I know like we've already established much like Moses it'll have an asterisk, but still,
2.5. Okay. It gained bonus points because the fight choreography was pretty good. Like I think there was one episode that was like mostly fighting, so it was a good one, I guess. And I gotta stop calling him Smilo Ren. Manny Jacinto, I think his actor is really good, and I hope he gets more work after this. I think Laura Kinney was in it too, right?
Yeah.
Laura Kinney.
Yeah, I think she's the
X-23.
I forget the actress's name.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was the actress. Something like.
It's the actress that played Laura Kinney.
Oh yeah,
I don't care. I just forget her name right now. Yeah, she's in it. So it's got some talent in there. It didn't hit right for me. I wish, like, I'm jealous of Derek because I wish I could enjoy this, but I couldn't stand the writing, and yeah, 2.5 is probably where I'm gonna leave it.
Okay. All right, cool. And Mo, did you give yours yet?
Again, I don't feel like I should. Like, I only watched 2 of the first episodes and then the end.
Yeah, just Mike, look, your asterisk has been noted. Go.
That last episode, I think that's where they spent like 80 of the million, the 180 million. I think this is what I like about this new incarnation of Star Wars, like where it's like you're getting a lot of different shit in different eras and different perspectives. And that's what I wanted, like, as a kid. Like, they don't do nothing with Star Wars other than what we see, which is like at that point was just the 3 movies, some of the books if you can get them, some of the games if I could sit and play them, and then the prequels, you know what I mean? And so with comics you can find them, and now you got a whole other. They undid all those, so now we can just watch these, which is easier. It's like X-Men 1 again. Like I can, there's a starting point where I could watch all these, you know. And that this is what I wanted as a kid. Like, I'm not gonna bitch about it, even if it's bad. So it's a 4 for me.
I'm gonna take a risk and make a suggestion for Derek, because I was gonna make the suggestion for the rest of you guys, but Derek, since he really got into evil, maybe I can get him into this, unless he's already watching it. Supercell.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a TV show. I thought it was an indie movie.
It's a Netflix show. It's like 8 episodes, 6 episodes. About a group of British black guys. Actually, they're not all guys. British black folk that get superpowers. And I heard it's good. I haven't seen any of it. I was going to mention it to you guys, and I'll probably watch it between now and next week.
I watched the trailer. It seemed interesting, but I didn't feel like watching it. But if you want to review it, I'll watch it. Johnny Skinwalker on YouTube chat says that's not what I wanted as a kid. LOL. Yeah, I don't know what, when I saw Star Wars, I wanted more. I want to know how the politics work in it. I'll read a fucking janitor's manual about the Death Star. I bought the tourist guide, like how to say hi to a Tusken Raider. Like, I bought that from Walden Books as a kid because it's like the extra Star Wars shit I could get, So what we got here is like it's extra. I'm in,
Right. I'm gonna give the Acolyte 4.5 out of 5. I liked it a lot too, and I like, honestly, all the hate baffles me, and I know, like, there's some people that
it doesn't baffle you, Larry. Like, you know what it is.
I mean, well, I'm saying, like, I was about to say, I know there's some people that are just like, okay, they hate on it because they're like, why are you friggin' excommunicating us white guys? Why are you oppressing us white guys out of Star Wars or whatever? And I get that there's some people that feel that way. And listen, I'm not mad at how they feel. What I'm mad at is their reaction to it, more so.
Well,
it's like, dude,
they know how you felt your entire life now.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, like, it's like sometimes
it's their turn.
And it's not even like it's gonna be like forever. Like, it's not like we're gonna have to wait for years and years before we see another white man in the center of a Star Wars story. Like, that joint is gonna happen like probably next year. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, so now that we have a few ladies and a few people of color that are like center stage in a Star Wars franchise, like, just relax. Like, you'll be okay. Because trust me, like,
think
like,
about it.
You can't.
I was gonna say there's no white men in this entire series.
I mean, not at the center. Like, they're in the background, and I know that's like a thing. No, they don't. I don't even know that they have any names. They're in the background.
They don't
like.
Okay.
In the last episode, the one that said, "Hey, he's waiting for you in the office," Like
Yeah, I
that
mean
was a
that.
white
Yeah,
dude.
Yes,
that guy's a white
the
dude. But I don't know
secretary.
his name. Yeah, but
The
what I'm
one white
saying
guy
is,
in the entire series is the
but
secretary.
Yeah.
but the thing is that they like because white people are so used to being centered, when that happens to them, they're like, you're doing something wrong. And it's like, dude, like that happens to everybody else that's not white all the time in all types of media. Like literally, you can have an entire cast of almost all white people, and there's like a person of color in there somewhere that it just has like the secretary role, and that's it. And no one has anything to say. And it's like those of us that are people of color will look at those stories and we still enjoy them and we still relate to the characters even though they don't look like us, and it's fine because we can be like, okay, we can see the humanity in those people even though they're not of the same race as us, you know what I'm saying, or same ethnicity as us. Why white people
Yeah,
have
so
such an issue, or some white people have an issue doing that, it baffles me. I don't understand why they can't just, like, I get it. If they're like, oh, like it would have been cool if there was somebody that looked like me as a Jedi, you know, at the center of the story. That's cool. I get that feeling. But why you can't just enjoy the story anyway, I don't understand that, because I've been
If you
doing that in sci-fi, especially, and fantasy my entire life.
and Friends.
So, huh?
And Friends.
Nobody's talking about Friends.
No, but that's one of my that's what I was gonna say. Like, yeah, if you don't like the Acolyte, yeah, just go back to watching Friends. Tiger Claw says someday Star Wars will have an alien being at the center, and I would venture, like, yeah, they look like white people, but they're still aliens. They're all aliens,
right? They're all aliens. Like nobody's from Earth,
right? They're humanoid, like not even human necessarily, you know.
Yeah.
If you look at like if you look at like let's say Empire Strikes Back, like there's like 12 white people in it but they get all the screen time. But when you look at the whole cast could be whatever. Like, you know, they're like reptilian and shit, you know. But they just don't get the screen time, you know.
Wasn't Ahsoka a show with an alien at the center?
They're all alien at the center because it's Star Wars. It's a galaxy far away.
But like, that's not how Tiger Claw made it.
Yeah, Ahsoka would work.
Yeah.
It is hilarious to me that this series went the entire series with literally no white men and the center in any major role.
Well, no, that's not true. The
whatchamacallit,
one of the Jedis was a white man.
What?
Right? One of the Jedis that got hunted down.
Okay. That went out by drinking poison. All he did was sit there and drink poison. Okay.
I mean, look, you're saying this to me like you've never watched a movie where there's maybe been one black guy that gets, and all he does is get like killed in one moment, and that's it.
Look,
like
Derek, like you went to school when they actually taught you literature. There's that whole story where there's like everybody sitting around the fireplace and they're looking at a picture of a dude, and the story is about that dude, but it's everybody talking about him, and he's not in it technically. There's no white man in there, but the story is about a white man.
It's the Bechdel test, basically.
Yeah,
is what I'm enjoying about the. That's what I enjoy.
I don't like
about
tests. I'm a bad test taker.
It was the entire Bechdel test of a series. Yeah. That's all. Okay, I'm done. I got nothing else. I'll go there. I'll let you guys go talk about Hit Monkey or whatever you guys want to talk. I don't care.
Yeah, no, but you like Hit Monkey too, right? Like you watched that whole series.
No, I have not.
Oh, okay.
I'm the J of this of Hit Monkey.
Me too.
One day I'll watch it when it hits Laserdisc. Maybe.
Wait.
And plus, I don't like
watch Hit Monkey?
Yeah, the episode you guys made me watch.
What's that episode? Episode 1 of season 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got you. All right. Thanks, Derek. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Oh, Derek. Damn it. Derek's gone. I was gonna ask him what's the next show that we should do like a episode recap on, so I
You're
can
not
get
gonna
ready.
do it.
So you cannot do it.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
Well,
Yeah.
no. Listen, I look.
Setting us
I,
up for disappointment.
listen. I was gonna ask him, but
Like I want you to
I'll
make
say-
I want you to make about your collectibles like video content for the channel. You don't do that either. Like if you're not gonna do that, you're not gonna do his. Fuck
I'm
that.
gonna.
Just show up Wednesday and I'm happy.
Listen, I'm gonna do some.
You ain't gonna do shit.
I'm gonna do some video content for the channel. I don't know if it's gonna be about the collectibles, but I got something in the pipe, and
I'm okay with you doing stuff about your collectibles. Like I'm not gonna feel like you're infringing on my territory.
Look, I'm not gonna step on Oz's package.
I don't even know if that's gonna be the name of it from now on.
I made my content with Snap, and somebody's like, "Why are you talking about your opponent like that? Like, why are you so mean to him? Like, he could be trying out a new like deck or something, you know? Like, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, the world we live in, like, everybody is a mean fuck, and I have a little bit of fucking competitive streak in me." And it's like, why you gotta be so mean immediately on unsubscribe? Like, we lost a subscriber because of that shit. Like, you fucking puss. Like, I didn't comment because, the fuck am I gonna say to that?
It's not like all the stuff you say. It's not like the opponent even heard or knows.
They know.
If it was like a Magic the Gathering thing where we're in their face, like I would say that out loud. But that's the beauty of Snap. It's like I don't have to see him, look him in the eye and say it. I can say whatever the fuck I want, and I'm teaching you how to like do some shit here.
And you got emotes.
I got fucking like 4,000 on a location, and then another guy's like, hey, this was a better comment where it's like, why didn't you just do a Nimrod too? And it's like, yeah, I could have done that. Yeah. But the math didn't work out. I wanted to maximize my score. So to get the most score I could get, I had to do the way I did and then do no. But if you don't know what we're talking about, there's a video. Click up there. Subscribe, hit the bell. It's up there. I actually got like 400 views. I'm happy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There it is.
And then they got dudes talking like, why are you being so mean? Yeah. Which to me, that's an honor too. Like, if I can get them to get a reaction.
You need to get that Venom emote where he's eating the Spider-Man lollipop. You need to get that.
I finally got because I splurged and bought the season pass for the Deadpool season right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get the Colossus.
Oh yeah.
I haven't used it yet.
I actually used that today.
Yeah, I love it. I want that shit as a tattoo.
Yeah, the strongman Colossus is awesome.
Yeah.
So okay, well, let's talk about Hitmonkey real quick because Mo didn't get to watch it. It's like
No, I watched the season premiere.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
and I had watched a couple episodes of last season. I just didn't finish it.
Okay.
And then I accidentally watched a couple episodes of last season also.
So gents, what did you all think of Hitmonkey season 2, like episode 1? I mean, like technically it's on Hulu, so all the episodes are there, so you can binge it if you really want to.
I love that I can binge it.
Yeah, but what did you all think of the first episode? Why don't we start with you, Oz, and then we'll go to you, Mo.
It was fine. I
did
don't
you
know. I
watch?
didn't like it. I'm not a Hitmonkey fan.
I mean, like
nobody is.
Right, exactly. Like,
the
we're being
main
honest, like
character-
there are very, very few people that are like, man, Hitmonkey's my favorite. Nobody.
Yeah. If you actually watch the first season, they're not Hitmonkey fans. Like the animation was so shitty. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The main character, that white guy, like this is getting on my nerves.
I love that.
Look, wait. Now, why did you say like? Why'd you make sure we know he's white? Like,
because he is.
Yeah, but you're like he's the only guy in the whole thing, so it's like
because of diversity. They got monkeys.
There's a guy.
On here.
There's a monkey.
There's
a
monkeys
woman.
and
I know.
Orientals.
But the white, got you. Oh my god. So yeah. But he got on your nerves. Now, why did he get on your nerves? Well, what was it
He
about
just
the
wouldn't
character
shut
that?
the F up. I'm like, dude, all right, I get it. But I can see why you need that character because the monkey doesn't say a damn thing.
Right.
So I don't know. It's fine. I'm not gonna watch any more of it.
Now, Larry, in the
I don't
comic,
regret not watching season
Larry,
1.
did you read any of the comics?
I mean, I've read Hit Monkey here or there, but it's definitely not like a joint.
Not like a
that-
Hit Monkey comic, like where he's in something, right? Is that what it is?
I've read a actual Hit Monkey comic book.
Yeah.
Like one of like a limited series kind of deal or whatever. And you know,
Okay.
I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't like a thing where like I was like, oh man, like I can't wait to read Hit Monkey again. You know, like I don't know that. Yeah, like I've never felt like.
But when you watch a show, like, do you feel the same way?
No, the show I like a lot more.
Yeah,
like the show I like a lot more than any.
That's
Hit
what I was
Monkey
trying to
comic
get
I've ever
at.
written. I've
Like
read.
Where Oz is like this with the show, it's like nah. When you read the comic, it's like because I in the comics I like it too, but the show just adds something a little different, and you know they do things a little differently. I don't remember in the comics, Larry. Do you because is the ghost thing still, is that a thing in the comics too? I thought that he was living in the brain of the monkey.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like like the comic I read did not have
the ghost. Yeah, same here. Like I feel like it like they swapped, they put his brain in the monkey, you know, but
right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when they say it's based on comics by Daniel Way and I see a ghost, I'm like, ooh. Yeah, you know. But again, those comics came out at a time where my life was a drunken, nauseous blur. Yeah, so I don't know. I got to go back. But the show itself, like I find that dude, like that's Ted Lasso doing the voice. Yeah. It's Ted Lasso using foul language and motivating somebody, you know. So it's like watching Ted Lasso, but him motivating people, you know, a monkey to kill. So like I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean I feel like, you know, the show is definitely an interpretation of the character, and it's doing its own thing. You know, it definitely, like, it doesn't even feel necessarily like it's part of like, I don't want to say like the Marvel universe, because it's not like I'm not trying to say like it should be a part of like anything of like, I'm not talking about
canon.
MCU or anything like that. I'm just talking about, you know, like, does it take place within the Marvel universe? It feels more so like it's its own thing. Even though it did use Lady Bullseye in the last season, and you know there's a little bit of that this
the
season.
vengeance spirit like thing.
Right. But it wasn't actually like
it's a different it's its
different,
own spirit of vengeance.
Exactly. And so it's like, okay, like it's playing with the ideas, but I know for me, like I found season 1 entertaining. And I was like, you know, no, this is cool. Like, you know, it wasn't like it for me, I wasn't like, okay, this is like must watch, but it was something that I was like, you know, season 1, I was like, yeah, you know what, this is cool. Like they're doing some good stuff here. You know, I like it. Season 2 is better. At least in my opinion. Like I'm like season 2 from the start, I'm like, oh, like this definitely feels like, you know, like I don't know if it was a thing where they're like, oh, we just didn't think we were even gonna get a season 2, and they're like, okay, well, let's make sure we do it. You know, but it feels noticeably better to me. And like the first episode is like only the beginning. Like it gets progressively better in my opinion. Because I've watched like, I don't know, like 4 episodes now.
Okay.
And I was just like, yeah, like I was like, this is actually really good. Like I was like shocked by the I guess I would call it like a jump in quality. Like, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, but it is like the animation's a lot better. Because by accident I did watch the premiere of season 1 again, and I'm like, this feels redundant. Like, why are they telling me the story again? Like, I know not a lot of people watched it, but I guess they're putting it for me
right
in season 2. And it turns out I was watching season 1, episode 1
right
again. Hold on a second.
right
So, yeah, so I was like, dude, like, I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna stick with it. And then where the animation and production lacked in season 1, like the story was really good. You know, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I remember do liking this thing. So then, you know, I watched, you know, I had already watched a couple episodes past that, so I jumped to season 2, and I'm like, oh man, I missed a lot. Yeah, so I got to go back and see that. But even jumping in on season 2, like what you missed is it does affect what you see in season 2, but season 2 is a good starting point too. You know, like
100%.
you can just watch
like you can
season
watch
2.
yeah, you can just start with season 2 if you really want.
Yeah, and everything else is just lore. But some of that, you know, gets explained to you as you watch season 2 as well. So, and they do it in a way that isn't like handholdy either. You know, so
right.
that's what makes the season 2 enjoyable for me, in the sense that it's like, you know, in reading comics, I know like sometimes you have to read other comics to be able to understand some things, but there's some things that you can just jump and go and see. This is how you do like comics to television. Like they did a real good like way of recapping everything, and for me that alone gives it a 5 out of 5. Like, and a better animation, better frame rates, like smoother animation, a lot cleaner. You know,
I think
that first episode, like watching the first episode of season 1 and then watching the first episode of season 2, that first episode of season 1 looked like South Park premiere. You know?
Right. When they use the construction paper.
Right. And yeah. And I'm like, that episode didn't need to look like that, but that's just what the technology they had they can afford. So season 2, like, yeah, I'm enjoying a lot. I really like. I actually bought myself a little katana. So this story with the katana, like, I'm like, yeah, that's my cool. Katana, but it's not a real katana. I didn't get a katana. I got the other one, the one that you're supposed to kill yourself with.
Oh,
yeah. I bought it from a dude that was in the army like 50 years ago, and he was in Japan, and he bought it, and there's blood on it still. I don't know where he bought it, but
don't get possessed, Smo.
I won't. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I ain't worried about that shit. Yeah, even if it is, I do see shadows walking here and there, but they're fine. They're just going to the toilet. Yeah, because they ain't shit.
Animation wise, you're like, or how do you feel about it?
No, animation wise, it looked fine, and I do agree with Mo. They do, because I didn't see any season 1, and they did a pretty decent job of explaining where we're at in the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just not interested in the story, but
and that's fair.
Like visually, it's fine. It looks good.
Plenty. You're gonna be interested when Hitmonkey comes out in Deadpool and Wolverine.
But since Jay's not around, plenty of blood, plenty of killing. Those are all things he likes. I can't say it's bad. For me, I'm not gonna watch it.
Got you. Yeah. I mean, I think that like when you're in episode 1, like I feel like technically like it's telling you a story in episode 1, but like the main through line of like what season 2 is about doesn't really get introduced to you, I don't feel, in that first episode. So I could definitely understand why you'd be like, you know, you're like, you could take it or leave it. But yeah, like I said, it does get better. Also, too, I think that something worth noting is the addition of Leslie Jones to the cast. She wasn't in the first season, and the character she's playing is interesting. Like, it's kind of, you know, like I feel like it's almost like a Amanda Waller-esque kind of character, but that's like not as put together.
Yeah.
And I find that kind of interesting, and I feel like I appreciate the performance that Leslie Jones is giving, because sometimes she's doing like the Leslie Jones thing when she like gets out of pocket, but a lot of the time she's like being like she plays a character that's the broker for the assassins or whatnot, and so she's like the middle person for, you know, between the people looking to hire an assassin and the actual assassins. And so yeah, it's pretty cool, like the character she plays. And
Hitmonkey's better than John Wick is all I can say.
Like skill wise, you mean?
No, just in general, like more entertaining. Yeah, like
you think so?
I mean, I only watched the first John Wick. I tried to watch the second one. And it just like it's just a dude that kills people, and then here
John Wick,
it's a monkey that kills people, but he's like, but he doesn't want to, you know, like he wants to find home, and then now you know you have a reason why he keeps doing it, and he's like he doesn't even know that this dude's technically playing him from beyond the grave, you know, and it's like and he's a monkey, you know, and that. And that was not like the comic, you know, and it's like it's different. And I'm like, damn, like, but that actually makes it a little better in a sense, you know, like it like now I feel for the monkey as a character, whereas in the comic you don't feel like you don't care about him, whatever happened in his life or whatever, you don't feel shit in the comic, yeah,
right,
yeah.
I feel that. Yeah,
I love my monkey. I love spanking my monkey.
I think John Wick gets better as it goes along too. So you should maybe think about watching.
Look, I don't have a lot of time, and it's just not like.
I mean, I'm not saying do it today. I'm just saying if you get a chance, or if you're like, what should I do? That might be something worth looking into.
I got other things to watch. I still like need to finish Echo, and
you don't listen. You don't have to.
I want to go back for the John Acolyte. Wick, I gotta watch the Acolyte. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's all these wrestling episodes I haven't gotten to.
Is that you mean like
like Monday Night Raw?
Like Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, and SmackDown. Like I'm behind like 10 years. Week? I'm behind 10 years on that.
Oh man,
you know about Dominic and Mommy?
No, but that's what's getting me back. Like that's the thing. Like I'm like, fuck, this is what
Dominic
I'm missing.
And
yeah,
I don't know who that is.
Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's kid.
Yeah.
Oh no,
dude. Yeah.
Like, when I was younger, there was a match to determine custody of him.
Yeah.
And now he's out there fighting his dad. Calling him deadbeat.
Yeah. And he got the little like taquache haircut and shit.
And Mommy is Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Like massive woman.
She's amazing. She's the best.
And they're recreating like when Eddie Guerrero in China.
She's like but or
recreating that with them.
But she's like also she's more like she's buff still, but not like China, but she's like more like scary Sherry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. No, I didn't even know that was happening. I gotta ask my boy about that.
Yeah, no, that shit's that's the shit that's trying to get me back. Yeah. Trying to get Emily interested in so she could watch it too.
Okay. So let's rate Hitmonkey and then let's get out of here.
No, we still need to talk about Brave New World.
Oh, the Captain America trailer?
Yeah, Hitmonkey is about 4. I'll give it a 4.
Okay. Oz, what would you give it?
Yeah, I'll probably do 4 also.
Okay.
Me not wanting to watch it is my hang up. It's like I can't. There's nothing really I can criticize about this show. I just don't want to watch it. Which is okay. I'm not interested. It's not bad.
But I really do think like because especially how Oz is like that inner monologue that the ghost gives throughout like season 1. Like I think Oz could appreciate that. Like I think he would like that white dude's voice in his head. Like if he just if he starts from season 1, I think he's gonna enjoy it. Yeah,
Sure, like Stockholm syndrome.
whatever, but you're gonna enjoy it either way.
I would give it a 4 as well. Yeah, it's a good show. I like it. I enjoy it. So I'm gonna finish watching it. So all right. Real quick, you all want to talk about the trailer then?
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I just want to talk shit about the movie in general. I'm not watching it. I
Are you
just
not
read.
gonna watch
Yeah, fuck
Captain
that
America:
movie.
Brave
Yeah,
New
fuck
World?
that movie.
Why?
Yeah, because they fucked up Sabra.
I mean, why? How do you know?
They made her she's not an Israeli superhero. She's a Russian spy, like Black Widow, like a Red Room person.
Like Red Room? But
Yeah.
isn't she of Israeli descent still?
No, the movie's like escape. Like they're taking away all her Israeli shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And it's and again, like I'm not, I'm mad now, but it's like I should have been mad when Disney, because Disney's a bunch of fucking pussies. Like they did it with Captain America. Like internationally, Captain America wasn't called Captain America; it's called the First Avenger. So they've been doing that shit forever. So I'm not gonna be acting like, oh, I'm mad now. I should have been mad, and I was mad when Disney bought Marvel. So we could look at those archives. So it's just continuation of that shit, and it's like, is Disney homogenizing shit and people not reading enough comics, and it's ruining my shit, the shit I like. Yeah.
Wow.
And
I
that,
didn't realize that.
it happened like, that's what Disney does. It just homogenizes culture so that white people can enjoy it without consumerists can enjoy it, because there's no kind of, they're not gonna piss nobody off. Where in comics it was art. The comics don't give a fuck. You're gonna piss somebody off, but then you're gonna read an issue with the other person's perspective next month. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But no, I hear you. So you're like, you don't like that choice, and that's enough.
Yeah, I don't like the choice. I don't like the reasoning behind the choice. And
what's the
fuck
reasoning?
The whole Palestine, they don't want the people outside UCLA being outside the theaters, like not letting people walk in to watch the movie. That's all it is.
Oh, he's talking about Sabra?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I'm not gonna watch Brave New World. Fuck it. I'm just not gonna give them my money. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm on the opposite side. Like, make Sabra what the fuck she is. There's issues of her when she came out. She's like, yeah, I fight for the Israeli. It's like, yeah, but they're doing this. It's like, yeah, but if I go and try to help them, they're not gonna let me help them. They're mad at me too. They hate me too. They let them get their superhero. You know what I mean? And that's a conversation that they had in comics. Right. Comics does that. These movies ain't trying to do that shit. They're trying to keep people stupid. It's for stupid. It's for the masses. Dumbasses. And that's the whole reason. Like that when I was telling you earlier about omnibus closing and people not reading comics, like that's part of the problem. Like with society as a whole, people ain't reading. And we're losing culture. We're losing ideas. We're losing ideas that could, somebody could be watching Sabra for real and be like, you know what? If I get to that point where I can make change, I would. She said this that hit in my brain, Like you look at Gloria Steinem. Gloria Steinem fucking read Wonder Woman as a kid, Fucking kickstarted the feminist movement, We ain't gonna have that no more. Now it's like everything's getting homogenized. People being sedated and secure. Yeah. And I say fuck that shit.
Okay. Huh. Oz, why aren't you gonna go watch Brave New World?
No, I'll go watch it. I mean, they've reached out the whole movie like 4 times at this point, so they must have got it right by now, right?
Yeah, well, they got it wrong with Sabra.
Yeah. Y'all saw Giancarlo Esposito in the trailer?
Yeah,
No.
I saw him, but so he's good. So what? He's always good. Yeah,
I agree. No, he is always
yeah.
good. But do you guys have any idea what character he's playing?
I was mad at like the Sabra thing. So
Like they I don't think they've officially announced it, but the rumor is, and it's a character that honestly I would think that maybe Oz might know the character, maybe, but most people definitely wouldn't know the character. The rumor is that he's playing GW Bridge, which
oh
is a character that's like, if that is who he's playing, it's just like it's crazy because it's just like the character for one is so like niche and like
yeah.
you know like well, the idea that if that is who he's playing, that's really wild because it's like, why that character? But
Why
more
here? Yeah,
yeah, and more especially right, like in a Captain America movie is so weird because like Bridge is known primarily as like Cable's buddy.
yeah.
And so like he was like part of like the six pack or whatever, and it's just like, you know, like sometimes he plays a little bit of a bad guy, but he's more like anti-hero-ish.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like he'll give heroes a hard time and, you know, kind of like run the company line sometimes, like as like a member of Shield or something. But I was just like, that can't be who he's actually playing. So even if they end up saying that is who he's playing, like he might end up being like somebody else.
Well, he could have that name, and it's just not going to be that characterization. That's the problem with MCU right now too. Like, and again, that's my gripe with them in Disney. It's like they homogenize. They're like, oh, let's just, we have rights to these characters, just put them in there. You know, they're not worried about what they do or what they can do or what potentially they can do. You know, for them. You know.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it's like, listen, you know, for me, it's like I would like characters like I miss the days of the MCU where it felt like, you know, it was a characterization that was being pulled from the comic and put onto the screen.
Yeah.
But you know, those days seem like they're long gone. Like after
Right.
Guardians.
But why? Like, and that, you know, again, like why I fucking hate the Deadpool movie with Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Like, they switched their powers.
Yeah, but that's not on Marvel.
It is on Marvel because they said so what happened was they Marvel did have for Negasonic Teenage Warhead, they said you can't use her powers like there are in the comics, but we need to, you know, they had a deal to get Ego. So it's like you can get Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and it was a deal with Ego. So, and then the Ego we got is the Ego we got, and it's like, the fuck, like
why I don't understand. Like Negasonic Teenage Warhead, like
it was a
Fox
weird
had the rights.
Yeah, but it was a weird thing. Like it was all part of the whole like Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch thing, like in that moment. So where they wanted to use Ego, but they had Ego, and they're like, okay, well, let us.
Did they have Ego?
Because of the Fantastic Four.
Oh, got you. That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. Like you don't even need Ego. Ego doesn't make any sense.
Look, that's how you know. Like maybe some people were like actually thinking about what they could do with Fantastic Four, given the budget and shit. You know, like, but that's what they had, and so something with the trade was like Negasonic Teenage Warhead, but her powers had to be different, and you know, because for some reason she didn't fall under the mutant thing 100%. It's like, oh, just change your powers and we can get Ego and we'll be good, you know. But it's like we got Ego, like the fuck, you know, like they ruined my teenage Negasonic Warhead for that Ego, like you know, like being a Grant Morrison fan and a fan of New X-Men like that, like
you
know, and then now they ruined it in the comics too, because even like You know, that's her power in the comics now, and in the cards on Snap. And it's like, and I love the card on Snap. Yeah. But it's like her powers are like the movie powers on the comics and the books now and Snap now. Yeah.
I didn't even know they changed in the comic, but at the same time, I
No,
don't
they
know.
did. Yeah.
I don't even know the last time I seen Negasonic Teenage
Yeah,
Warrior.
it's been a while, but even I think before House of X, yeah.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, so fuck these movies. Long and short of it.
Okay. Look, so you're not gonna go see Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna see that. Like, I'll probably get a bootleg while I'm chilling in my room after Comic-Con. Like,
okay.
Because I mean, I'm not trying to go watch it there, and I'm not gonna be able to watch it here. So, and then before the show where we got to review it, like, I'm not gonna be there. Moses should be very afraid of what they might do. Marvel might do to Galactus and MC. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think so.
Well, the thing is, it's like they already ruined like everything I love. They ruined already. The Celestials, the Eternals. Like they ruined everything I love. Like, I mean, I have nothing for like they have nothing for me anymore.
The Eternals, you can definitely make a case about them having messed that up, but the Celestials seem fine, right?
No, well, the Celestial, the whole thing about the Celestials and the Inhumans and the Deviants and the Eternals, like that's all connected. They fucked all that up. Once Ego's a Celestial, you fucked it up. You don't know what Celestials are, So they ruined everything I love.
But you've seen the Celestials in Eternals.
Yeah, but they didn't do celestially things. Like I got better Celestials on fucking Snap than I do in fucking Eternals movie.
Okay.
And look, they're acting kind of movie-ish too. But I'm not gonna, I don't want to ruin the game for myself. Like, I mean, they fucking turned Eternals into Blade Runner. Like, what the fuck? Like, and I love Blade Runner. Just not my Eternal.
Yeah.
Worst fear is
they
it's not that.
He was smoking the last time they put him in a movie.
Right. Like
no, but but even Galactus has celestial enhancements. Like he killed the Celestial, and that's his armor. He's wearing a Celestial's body as his armor. Like if you read fucking Tiger Claw, motherfucker. Here you go. Read fucking comics, Tiger Claws. Galactus killed and murdered and ate a Celestial, and he's wearing his fucking body as the armor. Celestial, like I don't mind Galactus being a smoke until a human sees him. Once a human sees him, if he shows up in Africa, he's gonna be black. If he shows up in the Skrull world, he's gonna be a Skrull. If he shows up in a Kree world, he's gonna look like a Kree. Like he's an amorphous being. All you see is the fucking armor floating in there anyway. It's Galact. I don't give a fuck what they do to Galactus. They ain't gonna do the shit that's right. Is the problem. Yeah. Because he is essentially God. Like he ate God and became it. Whenever he's like, you think, you're going to church. Well, I know I went to church. Like, well, who was here before him that made him God, that let him be God? Like, no, he's Alpha and Omega. That's what, Galactus, like, give me an explanation. He killed and ate the last one and put on his body as a suit. Yeah. Like, that makes more sense than the Bible to me. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. It's time for us to get out of here. Let's make it happen.
Santa Claus says Marvel burned the bridge with Moses, the GW bridge. You didn't say that. I added that myself. But
hold on. Looking for
you want me to play the music?
Yeah. If you have it right there.
Yeah, I got it right.
Okay. All right.
working on a video right now, so more to come. Like, subscribe, do all that, and go read some comics.
Huzzah! Mos Magnum. Final thoughts.
Yeah. Don't bother. Don't even like, subscribe, hit the bell. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. What's the fucking point? Like, really, what is the fucking point? Like,
okay. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, you can let us know what you like and what you don't like, what you want to see more of. We'll listen to you. But until then, we are the Fantastic Forum. Have a good night.